My name is Sherri Kohr, an education professor at George Mason University. I'd like to spend a few minutes today giving you some practical tips that might help you during your reset presentations in the classroom. I thought I'd give you the top 10 things to try in your classroom. Number 10, use students' names whenever possible. Ask teachers, if they can, to print out labels with each child's name on it. It always works better when you can address a child by name. Francis, what are you doing? Teresa, what happened just now? Always helps when you call the children by their first names. Number 9, be clear on your lesson objective. Know what you want to teach. What are the 2 or 3 things that are most important for you to cover in this lesson? Make sure that you present those things to those objectives to your students ahead of time so they know where you're going, and make sure you do it in a kid-friendly manner so that they can understand your vocabulary and your message. Number 8, pre-package your materials. It always takes a long time to pass things out. If you can take a few minutes before you come to class to put all your batteries and clips and pencils and plastic cups all in a bag for each group. I would prepare 4 or 5, possibly 6 baggies, depending on how many groups your teacher has told you that you will have. Unfortunately, asking kids, do you have any questions about materials? Kids don't really usually respond to any questions. You have to be very specific. Having the materials in front of them will help them do that. Number 7, model the steps before giving out those materials. In other words, tell the students what you're going to be doing ahead of time. Tell your students what you expect them to do with the materials. Once you hand them out, their minds are gone. They're into the materials, they want to touch them, they want to investigate, they want to play. Exactly what you want them to do, but you want them to do that after you've told them what your expectations are. Number 6, move around the room. Unlike now, I'm standing still. Moving around the room while you're teaching is very, very important. It allows you to get close to the students, understand more carefully and see more carefully what's going on in a room. It also allows you to put yourself in close proximity to those students that may be having more trouble, those that may be more of a behavior issue. Being close always brings around the best behavior in students. Number 5, give specific compliments to encourage positive behavior. When you see something great going on in the classroom, say so. Make sure the other kids hear you. Make sure that students understand that what you're looking for, and usually when you compliment good behavior, you don't see so much bad behavior. Makes it much easier to teach. Number 4, develop critical thinking skills with these kinds of questions. Why do you think that happened? How would this change if we tried doing it this way? If you added a different ingredient, what do you think would happen? And what else might happen if we try things differently? These are the type of questions that really get kids thinking, getting those brain juices flowing, and develop those critical thinking skills that we're all looking for. Number 3, things always take longer than you think. Definitely plan for a full hour lesson. It's always important to have things so that you don't feel hanging because you don't want to run out of things to do. But be prepared that most likely you won't get through your whole agenda for a particular day. That's okay. Going slow, making sure that kids understand where you are, and getting 100% of the experience is much more important than finishing all 8 or 10 of the objectives that you set up for that day. Number 2, be creative. Try to think about ways to keep the lesson flowing, but not always with you talking or asking questions. Have the kids talk to each other. Ask when you give directions for what you would like what you would like your students to do. Ask student A to explain the procedure to student B. Gets the kids talking, make sure that they understand what you want them to do. Make sure you explain vocabulary, use sentence strips, do puzzles, anything that you can think of that will stimulate your students' activities, their brain level, make them better understand your experiments and what the objectives are that you're trying to teach. And last but not least, definitely not least, use real-world applications. The one thing that you have that other teachers don't have is you have your engineering background. You are a reset volunteer, and you come with a real-world job that teaches the kinds of concepts that you're teaching to the students. Kids really want to hear about that. Be sure to share your experience, make this your lesson, and make this personal for you. Thank you very much.